You're tuned into Recovery TV, the voice of hope, with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Discussions and information on addiction and mental health issues. Here's your host, John J. Tassoni Jr., with today's guest.
Welcome to another edition of Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. The lady to my right is no stranger to this show, is Linda Hurley from Kodak. Linda, thank you for joining us again. I greatly appreciate it because you're a wealth of knowledge and education.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me, honestly.
So let's talk about the new grand opening that you just had of Royal Little Drive, and the amount of people that were there for that opening was tremendous. Senator Reid, White House, and all the congressional folks. A lot of back work to get that up and running. So let's talk about it.
Well, we did have the grand opening of 45 Royal Little, and it's 20,000+ square feet of providing care. And that's what we've looked at, I know I've talked to you about this before, but we recognize, we know that individuals don't just need mental health or just don't need physical health or just don't need a job or food or transportation. We need everything. All of us need everything.
Right.
So, one of the dreams of Kodak has been to be able to have a fully integrated, like whole person care facility. And that's what we opened.
It was amazing to me when I went for the tour that office to office to office to office was all different. You could get your medicine, you can sit down and talk to anyone that you needed to, you could go for a job interview, you could go for dental, looking at your mouth, you can go to this, you can go to this, you go to this. It's like something that I don't think anyone in the state thought that could be done except Linda Hurley.
Well, there was a number of us, but I've been driving it, that's for sure. I know I'm tenacious and been called a pit bull before, but that's not bad all the time.
Right. So when someone checks in, you go through the double doors.
Yep.
And
the reception area.
The receptionist helps you navigate through wherever you needed to go.
Yep. We have a medical suite, we have a behavioral health, like psychiatric mental health suite, and a suite for social services, which is everything else. And so you come to the front desk, and the receptionist asks you what you need. We are totally integrated with a recovery center, a peer recovery center. So if you need help in literally navigating to one of the suites that we have, there'll be a peer specialist available to help you find where you need to go, etc. And it's just so exciting. May I list what I'll do the medical first. We have primary care, urgent care in a sense. Just come to us and we'll get you where you need to go.
Yep.
But infectious disease, which is hepatitis C and HIV, of course, but all the other sexually transmitted diseases and other infectious diseases. We are treating women's reproductive health. We're talking to women.
So let me stop you there for a second.
Yeah.
Do you have a link to like women and infants, where if someone needs to go for women's reproductive issues, you can call Sophie over there, and Sophie will be in touch with this lady. Is that how that works?
It's quicker than that.
Okay.
You sit with, if you need to have health, men too, reproductive health. If you need to sit with someone relative to reproductive health issues, you sit with our doc or our representative. If women and infants doesn't happen to be there that day, because we may have a representative from there on various scheduled days, you sit with us and we call and connect you to the individual. While you're together with us, you get your appointment and we make sure transportation happens, so that no more gaps. That's as far, because we really want to have everything in the building if we can. And if we build up enough, we will be able to do that.
You know, I also, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, I have to give Rip a little pat on the back for helping us out for transportation issues with the bus stop right at the corner. And hopefully sooner or later, now that they're getting all this gas money, they'll be able to come down the street and pick them up in front of your building. But I do have to give them kudos for acknowledging the importance of having transportation.
And that's not a small feat, and
Right.
that you started that conversation for us, so I have to thank you. But it is not a small feat to have a line, because if you get a stop, it takes, what, 7, 8 more minutes?
Right.
And then every other stop down that route is 7 or 8 minutes late. So
Right.
it changed everything, and they did it for us.
Yeah.
They did it for the people
Yeah.
we serve.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about primary care. And I know Rhode Island is a huge shortage on primary care docs. How did you do that?
Well, it's all in process right now.
Okay.
We started, probably 10 years ago. We got a license with the Department of Health for what they call ambulatory care, which is how you start a primary care practice. And now we currently do primary care for everyone that comes to us as a mental health or substance use disorder, for
Okay.
substance use disorder treatment. And we're expanding that. I'm going to sneeze, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Now it's going to go away because
right.
I said that. It's been a process for us, and we've always been underpaid. So, you know, that we budget to be underpaid.
Right.
You know, primary care doctors are not knocking down our door because of the money. Truly, our doctors, our providers, our prescribers come to us because of the work they can do. And I'm so grateful for it. You know, altruism, I know that, you know, altruism doesn't, you know, pay your mortgage or pay for your
Right.
children to go to school, but it is a driving force for our medical team.
Yeah, and then go from medical to the next thing, where if you don't have a job, you got Department of Labor and Training, I believe,
Yeah.
has made a commitment to come and work with you over there.
They were there Friday.
And then, you know, it's just amazing how that conga line works.
Yeah.
It works, and it's going to help a lot of people,
Yeah.
and
We're-
a lot of people.
We also have, we're collaborating not just with state entities, because probation, Rhode Island Probation has a space with us. Rhode Island Parole has a space with us. We're speaking about collaborations with DCYF and like Labor and Training. We're really excited about, because they're not just bringing what they bring, like, you know, if you're having trouble with workers' comp or something, but their whole new community engagement about workforce development.
Right.
So it's not just I need a job, it's
You need
I
training,
can
too.
get
Right.
training.
Right.
You know, and so it's been a while. This has been 2 years, 2.5 years,
Yeah,
and we're so excited.
yeah. And now the balloons fly, and the trains go by, and the buses pull up, and we're good to go. We're going to take a quick break.
Sure, thanks.
You've been watching Recovery TV, and I'm your host, Sean Tassoni. Kodak is in the house, and we'll be right back after this message.
Now, back to Recovery TV with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Recovery TV is made possible by our supporting sponsors and our title sponsor, AdCare. Now, here's John and today's guest.
Welcome back to Recovery TV, and I'm your host, Sean Tassoni. Linda Hurley's in the house, and Linda is the president and CEO of Kodak. So thank you again for joining us. And I know you want to say a couple of thank yous. You're more than welcome to do that right now.
Well, I already thanked you for your assistance as always, but this tremendous opportunity for Rhode Island it was really only possible through Senators Reid and Senators Reid and Whitehouse. They've provided us 3 years of federal dollars to create this building, and I just their trust their trust in us and their total commitment to the residents of Rhode Island is remarkable. And I think we all just really need to be grateful for that.
It's not easy with the population that we deal with.
Right.
I mean, day in and day out. Sometimes it does wear on you, wears on the staff. But you know, we all, anyone who's in this arena deserves a lot of credit. And for them to step up and give 3 years of commitment of funding is tremendous. So again, on my behalf too, thank you. Thank them both. I've done a lot of work with them over the years, so they're two good guys. I want to talk to you a little bit about your pharmacy.
Okay.
Tell me about your pharmacy, because pharmacy could be a big thing. It could be toothpaste, it could be mouthwash, it could be pills. What is your pharmacy specializing in?
Our pharmacy is for prescription only.
Okay.
So it is a retail pharmacy because you come in and you purchase whatever your prescription has been that your doctor has called in for you. But we are not providing that other typical retail space. If you go into one of the pharmacies all over the state, you can buy potato chips, you can buy toothpaste, you can buy...
Right. It's just prescription
This
drugs
is
only.
all prescription drugs, but you do not need to get any other service at Kodak. Your doc can just call it in to that pharmacy number, which is will be in 2 weeks on our website, or you know, your doc will know just to call in because it'll be on the list, and you can come in the next morning and pick up your script.
Wow. Another big issue is the state is upside down on this housing. And I know that we had talked a little bit about trying to help people with housing needs. Is that something that's in process, or is already happening?
Well, it has been happening all along at Kodak, particularly in Providence. But we're actually intensifying our efforts on site as opposed to having just one person come in or giving transportation to someone to go to a housing entity. So, you know, our goal here in the short run is to have someone from the Housing Authority actually there on site, and we've met with them several times. It's because it's just critical. It's really critical. And we also have staff that are trained in utilizing the web pages, et cetera, that you have to pay, there's a
Right.
fee for that.
Along with housing, obviously there's something else that goes along with housing, and that's food insecurity. We're hearing it. The people at the food bank are yelling. I know from my town, you know, we put up these free things that people can just drive through and pick up their phone, so they don't their food, so they don't have to go to a building and be looked at as someone who needs food. What are we doing with that in Kodak?
So we have space to have a supply of food for individuals with immediate need. So if someone comes to 45 or a little, and we say, what do you need? Right now, all I really need is I don't have food to feed my kids tonight. We will have food. We will have a supply of food for you. We have a freezer, refrigerator, and cabinets of dry goods. And then at that time, we will connect you with the Rhode Island Food Bank and have a connection made for you for the next day to go to that place nearest food bank nearest to you in your community to continue to have that support sustained. So we're very excited about that.
So, you know, there's a lot of people that watch this show, and I know Kodak is a 501c3. Do you accept donations?
Oh, absolutely, we accept donations.
And
Thank you.
And the donations would be for, obviously, like the food and other material things that people may need that are in trouble. You know, people don't realize that a good percentage of Rhode Islanders right now are one paycheck away from being homeless and being food insecure. They don't realize that. You know, when you drive down the street, whether it's Providence, Smithfield, Johnston, Cranston, wherever, there's people at the corners, there's people that are suffering. And if we all work together, you know, we all work together, this wouldn't happen. It's too much red tape. You know, need to get everybody in the room, lock the door, and say, listen, no one leaves until we can get this straightened out.
Well, and you know that was the underlying foundation of what we've just done.
Right.
Because we must, and we really do, this is a must, in Rhode Island, we must collaborate, regardless of what the funding streams, you know, how those criteria are set, that you can only do this and you can only do that. If we don't collaborate, well, things will be like they've always been, and they're not meeting the needs of the residents.
And silos, we got to
Yeah.
get rid of the silos, knock them down, put them aside, and let's work together, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, to get things done. The worst thing that you can have for a family that's in need is red tape. Not duct tape, it's red tape.
Right.
You know, and it gets frustrating. I mean, I see it. I mean, I help with the Human Services Department in Smithfield. I see it. I get a call from the senior center at least once or twice a week for people who need help. And they don't know the avenues to go like I do, only because I was in the General Assembly. I knew who to call, when, where, how. But there's a lot of people in need. And if we all work together, there could only be just a few. And we can't help everybody because some people don't want the help. But the people that want the help, stop with the red tape. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. I want to talk to you too about, you know, I know they have the big Kodak van, and but there's something on the horizon over here, I think. I'm looking at your eyes. So tell me about that. When we come back from break, you're watching Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. We'll be right back with Kodak right after these messages.
And now, back to Recovery TV with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Recovery TV is made possible by our supporting sponsors and our title sponsor, AdCare. Now, here's John and today's guest.
Welcome back to Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. Linda Early from Kodak, the president and CEO, is in the house. Linda, thank you for joining us today. Always a pleasure to have you on. You're a wealth of knowledge and education and an icon for the state, so thank you for what you do. I want to talk to you a little bit about transportation as far as your vans. Now, we were working together with Woonsocket, trying to get the van down there. We had got that all straightened out, but I understand that you're buying a new van.
I believe the van is coming mid-July.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, what's exciting about it is that it's more versatile. Like, I believe that the two units that we have now are 35 feet and 37 feet, and they're basically recreational vehicles that have been retrofitted to be a medical unit. So you have a exam room, a pharmacy, and a counseling space, and a restroom. The problem with that is that it's not designed to be utilized 365 days a year. So sometimes it's difficult to park, other times it just breaks. It's harder to do work with in the weather. So we're getting a new one. It's smaller, very compact actually, and there's no hydraulics. For anybody that knows, that's one of the most vulnerable pieces of a recreational vehicle. So we're really excited about it. It'll make it easier to get to various places in the state. And I'm not going to say right now because they're not finalized, but we've been asked by many places to come to their communities. And we haven't been able to do it yet because of the vulnerabilities of the two units we have. We need both of them to make sure Woonsocket and the northern part of the state are safe.
Yep. Well, you know, I have to give you kudos. I don't know what's in that brain over there, but every time I talk to you, it's something new pops up or something is going to explode. But I want to thank you for joining us today. As always, I wish you the best of luck on 45 Royal Little Drive. I think it's a absolute asset to the city of Providence that we're doing what you're doing, and the mayor. So I want to thank you for that. And you know, next week I got Kathy Andriozzi on, and Kathy is the president and CEO of the Tory Lynn Foundation, where her daughter was unfortunately passed away. So we'll see you next week. If you see something, say something.